Okay, so I'm out here changing the tire on a Mazda Miata MX-5. This is the spare tire, and this is the new tire. It's currently being inflated by this Vac Life air compressor. And sometimes when the weather gets cold, you'll see that your wheel will lose air. So this is also good if you're going to inflate a deflated tire that's gone deflated because of the cold. So over here you have the spare tire, which I took out with this tool right here. Of course, you know that Mazda Miata, they have smaller tires, so you're gonna have to find a tool that's appropriate for the lug nuts on your Miata. Right there for that. As I was saying, you always want to keep tools handy, especially when you have your car. Something can always go wrong, especially in the cold, but just in general. Not only a charged phone in your trunk, you should have probably a jumper cable, an electronic one, a battery operated one, but also a regular one that you could connect to another car. But always have something like this that you can take out different sizes of lug nuts. Always have a pry tool. You can buy these in sets. Always have a scissor jack. Like I said, unless you work in a garage and have the bigger one available, this is a scissor jack that you can easily just pack in your trunk. Always have an air compressor. And just always have some change with you, maybe in the glove compartment, as well as your license and registration. Always have some kind of rag that you can wipe off condensation or clean your hands after you open the hood and get your hands dirty, or you need to wipe something off. Or it's always just good to have. You never know what's going to come in handy. You might have to use the bathroom. After you finish though, again, I'm going to reiterate, make sure that all these lug nuts over here on the floor are attached tightly with this. Of course, we know that Mazda Miata has their own tools in the back, but some people might think they're a little small, but they come in handy. But they're usually in the trunk to the upper right hand side to the left of the battery. But yeah, if you can try to stay away from tire shops as most as you can, you might want to get used to doing things like this. If it's your first time, some questions you might have are, well, where do I fasten the jack? Well, they have different points. They're usually marked. This one, since it's an older car, it's not marked specifically, or it's rusted out. But there's some hints you can go by where you see that it's rubbed out from other people hoisting it up. And since it's such a smaller car and it's so low to the ground, you don't have to put it up all the way up to change the tire. A lot of these videos you see on YouTube, they don't explain these things to you, so you have to figure it out on your own, which is not bad, but it's just something that you may have to do. Just keep that in mind. But just keep tools with you anytime you have your car. Always expect the unexpected. Expect things not to go how they're supposed to go when you're driving. Even if you have a new car, just get in the habit of having backup tools or some oil, some motor oil, even transmission oil, even though you usually don't need it. A screwdriver, some kind of wrench, socket wrench, vice grips, throw that all that in the car, bungee cords. Just be prepared. All right. Okay. So new tires back on. Now we got to tighten it like crazy. It's always good to have a flashlight, not only your phone, but just a manual flashlight. And some of these devices also have a flashlight in them. And now to bring this down, you go counterclockwise. Once you get tool in there. It's gonna take a while, but just take your time, no rush. Okay, so we're almost done, and I just want to remind you of a few things. You want to check the floor around you to see, especially if you're doing this at night. And that's why I recommend you have a flashlight. Make sure you take everything that you took out, all your tools, you leave nothing behind. If you're going to inflate the tire, I would recommend that you do it after the car has reached the ground, not when the car is up in the air. You might want to do it a little bit, but it will make putting the tire back a little more difficult because you have to align the tire with the nuts and bolts coming out of where you put the tire. So just keep that in mind, they have to be aligned. And if the tire is overly inflated, you either have to jack the car up a little more, or you're just going to have to deflate the tire again if you fill it up prematurely. It's just something that if you're doing it for the first time, you might want to just, you know, I like to explain things to people as if they've never done it before, because I can't assume that they know what they're doing the first time. A lot of people don't grow up with fathers. A lot of people don't grow up with influences that take the time to teach them these things. So a lot of these things that we show you, people are figuring out for the first time, and that's fine. Just have patience with yourself and know that you can do a lot of things that you pay a lot of people money for. So now the wheel's on, and the last thing that remains is putting air on the tires at 37. It has to be at about 44, 43 for Miatas, for these types of tires. So there you go. Have some fun. Oh, and how do you know that you have a tire issue? If you didn't notice before, you usually have problem steering. The car will break out of alignment either to the left or the right. You'll notice that the car starts shifting, and then you go out and you realize, oh, it's doing that because it's just riding on the rims of the car and not necessarily the tire. So just keep that in mind. Always check the tires, especially in cold weather, or when weather can go from cold to hot in a moment's notice, as it is in between seasons. All right, learn a little something. Go take on the day.